muscles need to be warmed up enough for that static stretching to have a good effect on your body. So that's why all our movements are, dynamic, moving in and out of the stretch, turning on our awareness to the maximum, paying attention to your sensations. You don't want to go beyond your comfortable range of motion. If you feel like you want to move slower, go ahead. That's what your body is asking for. You gotta listen to your body. Okay, so we'll start in a standing position. Okay, and we'll start with our feet. Just turn your right foot out. Place it on the tips of your toes. Make sure to keep your spine relaxed and long. We're going to roll on gently onto the top of your toes and roll back. Okay, so to the top of your toes. We're not putting pressure on them. We're not shifting weight toward this foot, but we're just gently rolling it over without applying pressure. Again, that's very important. This knee soft, looking straight ahead. You don't want to look at your foot. If you have a mirror in front of you, that would be great, so that you don't have to strain your neck muscles. So we're gently rolling onto the top. Maybe when you feel like it's warmed up, your toes warmed up, you might just apply gentle pressure, but without shifting your body weight onto that foot. Very gently, keeping your hands on your hips. And couple more. Smooth, fluid, and controlled. And last one. Nice. Switch sides. Again, the support knee is soft, and we're rolling it over, flipping the foot, and roll it back. When you're returning the foot into the starting position, try to do it in a controlled manner without rushing. Okay, so it should take the same amount of time to roll it forward, and then the same amount of time to roll it back. Keep breathing, feeling the stretch on top of your foot, top of your toes. The weight is on your support leg, and when you're ready, just gently press into the toes. You never want to take it too far, to the point where you would feel pain, right? It's got to feel comfortable, especially if you're trying it for the first time, these kind of moves. And stopping. Okay, now I'm going to do, again, flip the foot, staying right, keeping them hip width distance apart. We're going to bend our knee and straighten. Bend your leg, straighten, keeping your lower back in neutral. You don't want to arch your back, so it's stable and in neutral. Arching your back is like this, or like you don't want to take your hips back. It's just bending your knee and straightening it. Feeling the stretch again along the top surface of your foot, along the shin bone. And last one. Great. Switch sides. Again, flip it. Keeping nice and long spine. Reaching upward with the crown of your head. Gently lower to the point where it feels comfortable. Very softly. If it hurts, even if you can go just tiny bit down, that's good without being hurt. So you want to make sure there's no pain whatsoever. Watching that lower back, reaching with the support knee kind of forward. And come back to standing. Nice. Shake those feet out. Okay, moving on to the hip mobility. So we're going to lean, step to the side, the toes are pointing forward. Lean into that hip as if you want to push it backward in a diagonal line. Again, comfortably. And cross that leg in front. Okay, the toes are pointing forward. It will, turn slightly. When you're crossing it, that's totally fine. Push it. We're focusing on pushing that hip. You may want to place your hand to the top of your butt cheek and push into it. Imagine you need to reach a wall that's behind you. Nice. Push it in and straighten. So the movement happens at your hip joints. And make sure when you bring it here, you're opening up your groin area, your front thigh area, without having to keep your hips bent. And a couple more. When I stop to explain something, you keep going. Last one. Pushing and back to center, switching sides. So stepping just comfortably to the side. You don't want to step too far. That's not the purpose of this exercise. So again, placing your hand just above your buttock and pushing into that hand. Reaching back in a diagonal line. You might want to slow down here, feel the movement, feel the stretch, and we're crossing, right? Yeah, and coming back, opening up the front of your pelvic area. Slow down, reach, and come back. Our back is straight. The curve is barely changing, it's stable. The spinal curve. When we're coming back here, we're kind of pushing the other hip bone forward to create the length. And 3 more. Awesome. Coming back to the center. Let's just warm up our arms. What we're going to do, we're going to keep our elbows bent, and then slowly, while keeping your fingers all straight and the palm of your hand, the hand is bent at 90 degrees at your wrist, we're going to push it away from the center, lengthening your arms as much as you can, lengthening your fingers upward, and bring it back. So exhale and push as if you're pushing some, heavy doors that are on either side, right? Keeping your shoulder blades down. Push it, lengthen those fingers upward and release. Imagine being suspended from the ceiling. The crown of your head is being suspended from the ceiling. So you're hanging off the ceiling, lengthening that spine. Focusing on straightening your arms and lengthening your fingers. Keep breathing. If we stop breathing, we're locking our muscles in a state of tension, which we definitely want to avoid. Couple more. Last one. Nice. Awesome. Now cross your arms You're going to gently bend to the side, but not by breaking your side line. You don't want to kind of drop and collapse it. You want to keep it long. So you're bending and while lengthening. Then we are bending diagonally to the side, moving forward your torso. Again, lengthening out to the other side and bringing it back. So we're going in a semicircle. You don't want to move back at this point. You don't want to move back and arch your lower back. It compresses your vertebrae. So we're just coming back to a neutral position. Very gently and slowly lengthening both sides. Keeping the length, very important. As you're reaching forward with the crown of your head, you're also lengthening your torso away from your hips. And one more, and we'll switch direction. Coming up in a long, long, long manner. Nice. Now, switching sides, bending to this side, bending and lengthening. Moving forward, reaching forward with the crown of your head. Your knees are soft. They are never locked. And in a controlled motion, coming back. Feeling the tension going away from your lower back. Lengthen to the side. No rush. Take it slowly. Your shoulder blades are down. Breathing. Exhale. And inhale through your nose. And two more. And last one. Awesome. Coming back to the center. Great job. Okay, bringing your feet closer together. Again, hip width distance apart. Your right arm is lengthening, reaching upward. Your shoulder is down. Your knees are soft. Spine is neutral. We're now going to start the movement with kind of pushing that hip to the side, sliding it to the side without twisting your body. It's just slides to the side. Okay, and now feel the way your rib cage is following and bending, and then your arm. You want to add the length by reaching through your pinky upward and slightly in a diagonal way, and return to the starting position. Again, we don't want to lose that length on either side. Well, obviously it's enough length right here, but on this side you don't want to just bend it and lose it. You want to keep it maintained. So sliding that hip out and reaching as far as it feels comfortable. And now at this point, try to press the same foot, the outer edge of your right foot, if your right arm is upward. You want to try to push with the outer edge of your foot into the floor, creating even more length. And slide your pelvis back. Again, sliding it to the side. Reaching through the pinky and the edge of your outer edge of the foot. And coming back. Sliding the hip. You don't want to rotate your rib cage either way. Okay, so it's just straight to the side. And return. And last one, feeling all 3 points. Your hip lengthening, your pinky, and the outer edge of the foot. Imagine someone's pulling your arm up upward toward the ceiling. And return. Great job. Lower it down. Shift your shoulders. And switch sides. So now we're working with the left arm. First motion, sliding that pelvis to the side. Noticing how it pulls on the rest of our body, our rib cage, our arm. Now adding the arm, reaching through that pinky. Your chest is forward. It's not rotating. And back. Sliding the hip. Reaching with the pinky. And now pressing that outer edge of the same foot into the floor. Keep breathing the way it feels comfortable. Hip. Lengthen. Pinky. Outer edge. And slowly return. Again, hip, pinky, keep breathing, outer edge, and return. Last time, hip, reach through the pinky, lengthen that arm away, push that outer edge into the floor, and return to the starting position. Awesome. Okay, lower it down. Now we're going to go on the floor in a quadruped position. Your hands are under your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. We're going to push gently our hips back by pushing the mat away from your body, pushing it forward. So push that mat away. This motion makes your hips go back, right? If you want, you can tuck your toes under, experiment, and see which one feels better. Awesome. Now we'll stop right here. We'll walk our hands forward just a tiny bit. Your fingers are wide spread apart. We're going to pull the mat away to the sides with your hands and see the way it changes the position of your forearm. So you're pressing, look at the elbow. It's kind of turning slightly out because your forearm is turning inward, just a tiny bit, right? So we want to maintain that position of your forearm in the following exercise. Just move a bit back so that you can see me. So just slightly forward, your hands. We are going to lower our body by pressing the hands into the floor and spreading the mat apart into the sides. We're lowering ourselves to the point where we can barely hold our lower back curve in neutral, right? So if you feel you're dropping it, you're dropping your hips, or you're starting kind of pushing it upward because it's uncomfortable, you went too far. So we're keeping our curve, the lumbar curve, neutral. Okay, moving back, pushing the mat away, pulling it towards your body with your hands, spreading it apart, and going forward. You might want to walk your hands a bit more forward so that you feel even more engagement of your core. Spreading the mat away, lowering yourself, feeling the lumbar curve, staying unchanged, and pulling back, opening up your sit bones, spreading them apart from each other. Slowly, again, pulling the mat apart to the sides, creating a straight line from your head all the way to your tailbone while keeping your curve, lumbar curve neutral. That's what we are focusing on right now. Again, push the mat away from your body. We're breathing freely here. We're not holding breath. We're not dropping our chest in between the shoulder joints either. So we're pushing into that mat, pulling the mat away, and bringing your torso closer to the floor in a diagonal line while keeping the neutral curve. Again, pushing the mat away. And last time. Okay, we'll stay right here now. If you want, you can just turn your fingers slightly inward, just very slightly, because we are going to do a version of a push-up, a very light version. We're not going to go all the way down to the floor, but what I want you to focus on is by bending your elbows and imagine that they're reaching to the side. Someone's stretching them to the sides. And push the floor away. Again, your lumbar curves got to stay neutral. We're not dropping our hips. We're not pushing them upward like this. We gotta keep one straight line from your head to your tailbone, engaging that core and reaching with your elbows to the sides. Awesome. Nice and wide back. Good support. Slowly down, reaching with the elbows to the sides and pushing the floor away. 2 more times. Your head is in line with your upper back. Push the floor away. Reach with your elbows. And coming back. Nice. Bring the soles of your feet together, your toes rather. Push the mat away and relax. Your belly in between your knees. Bring your forehead onto the floor and breathe for a few seconds. Feel your chest melting toward the floor. Your belly is relaxed. Nice. Now bring yourself up. Walk your knees towards your hands. And we're going to finish up by lying down on the mat. Let me just see if this is a good angle. Okay. So what are you going to do now? I want you to spread your arms to the sides and focus on your right hip bone, the one that's right here sticking out. Feel it, rub it, and come back to the starting position. Okay, so we're going to press the right heel into the floor and kind of turn the foot inward slightly. And when you're doing that motion, try to lift that buttock off the floor, the right buttock. So you feel your whole right side of your body is twisting. And bring it back. Okay, so pressing the heel into the floor, rotating that foot inward towards your midline of the body. And reaching upward with the hip bone and bringing it back. So your butt cheek, the right butt cheek, is coming off the floor. Now, you're going to bring your right arm, stretch it, extend it upward, right beside your ear if you can. If not, lower it a bit to the side in a diagonal line. We're repeating this motion, but this time we're letting the pelvis to pull on our rib cage and turn your body to the side even more. And return. Couple more times, pressing that heel, rotate. That makes our foot rotate inward. The hip is pulling upward, pulling onto our rib cage. And now this time, use the momentum. Keep doing the same movement and bring yourself to the side. Feel the nice stretch along the entire side of your body, and slowly roll back into the starting position. One more time, pressing the heel, taking that hip bone out and rotating to the side. Awesome. Now we're going to switch sides. Again, working with your left side now. Your arms are to the sides, pressing the left heel into the floor. That makes your pelvis rotate towards your right side, right? So pressing it in, letting the foot to turn, and the hip comes up, gets pulled upward, and the butt cheek comes off the floor, creating slight rotation on your left side. Returning back. Now bringing that arm, the left arm, extending it along your ear, along your head, and let me just check my mic, it's falling on me. Okay, and so arm is upward, pushing that heel into the floor, and let your body rotate even more. You can kind of make a rocking motion, and when you're ready, you can flip it over. Lengthen that arm away from your shoulder. Feel a nice stretch in your hip area, the side of your hip. And slowly roll it back. Back onto your tailbone, back onto both shoulders. Again, pressing that heel into the floor and rotating to the side when you're ready. And last one. You can wiggle your hips from side to side to create more movement. And last time, pressing and rocking. And when you feel the right moment, you bring yourself over to the side. Nice. Slowly back. Awesome. Okay, now bring your feet closer to your body. Spread them apart to the width of your mat, and just gently bring your knees to one side and the other side while keeping your upper body on the floor, your shoulder blades on the floor. Slowly to one side and the other. Feeling a nice release of tension in your lower back. And bring the knees together. Turn your body to the side. Place your hand, press the floor away, and coming back, into the sitting position. Okay, so inhaling right here while keeping your shoulders down, and exhale. One more time. Breathing in. Nice long spine. And breathing out. Give yourself a hug. Pat yourself on the shoulders. This is the end of the workout.